Okay, hello all. Welcome everyone to Microsoft 365 Virtual Marathon. Thank you for attending, and we hope you are having a great conference. I would like to introduce myself, Nandadeep Nathan, and I will be presenting a session on Automate Microsoft Teams Lifecycle with Microsoft Graph. So, hi all, good morning or good evening. Again, welcome to Microsoft 365 Virtual Marathon, and thanks for being here for this session on Automate MS Teams Lifecycle with MS Graph with me, Nandadeep Nathan. Just a quick update on the name change. The SharePoint conference is now the Microsoft 365 collaboration conference. So don't forget to mark your calendars for the upcoming event on March 23 to 25 next year. I would like to take a moment to thank you all of our generous big sponsors for their contribution and involvement in this big event. So one exciting news for all of the attendees, we are giving away 3 Oculus Quest all-in-one. So submit your answers to enter the raffle. And as all of us know that the world is going through tough times, it has been a tough time for everyone, but we must help the vulnerables right now. So 10% of the funds from sponsors goes to support community relief. Consider donating to the following charities. So just do for the sake of community. So before we start with the session, let me introduce myself. So myself, Nandadeep Nathan. I am from Pune, India. I'm Office 365 consultant, speaker at various conferences, author as well as blogger. I'm a recent Microsoft MVP for Microsoft apps and services. I have expertise in SharePoint, Office 365, Microsoft Azure, and Power Platform. Originally, I'm from Mumbai and I speak languages including English, Hindi, Marathi. Along with that, I'm an author for a couple of books on SharePoint, including SharePoint Framework and SharePoint Hybrid. So with that, let's have a look at the agenda, what we are going to cover in this hour or 50 minutes. So firstly, we will have a look at the introduction to Microsoft Graph, what is mean by Microsoft Graph and how it helps us. Then we will look into Microsoft Graph Explorer, how it helps us to build our own REST APIs. And then we will understand the Microsoft Teams lifecycle, and then we will combine it together so that we can use this Microsoft Graph to automate the Microsoft Teams lifecycle. And then quickly we will touch base upon the permissions types which are required when we will create those REST API or Graph endpoints. So firstly, to start with, what is mean by Microsoft Graph? So if you're not familiar with Microsoft Graph, it's a unified REST API for the whole company that allows you to get data from Microsoft applications using a single interface. So Microsoft Graph is a gateway to data and intelligence in Office 365 or Microsoft 365. It provides a unified programmability model that you can use to access the tremendous amount of data in Microsoft 365, including Windows 10, Enterprise Mobility and Security, that is EMS, and as well as Office 365 itself. So you can use this wealth of data in Microsoft Graph to build the apps for organizations and your customers that interact with the millions of users and millions of data. So what do we have in Microsoft Graph for us developers? So Microsoft Graph exposes REST APIs and client libraries to access data on various Microsoft cloud services. So we can use Microsoft Graph to access the data from Microsoft 365 services, including Dell, Excel, Microsoft Booking, Microsoft Teams, OneDrive for Business, OneNote, Outlook or Exchange, Planner, SharePoint, and Workplace Analytics. Again, we can even use this Microsoft Graph API to get or access the data from enterprise mobility and security services. So even those includes threat analysis or advanced threat analytics, advanced threat protection, ATP, and Azure Active Directory, that means Azure AD, and Identify Manager and Intune. So again, we can access the data from Windows 10 services, including activities, devices, notification, as well as even we can use this Graph API from the Dynamics 365 Business Central using those REST endpoints. So this Microsoft Graph API It offers a single endpoint called as https graph.microsoft.com to provide access to rich people-centric data and insights exposed as resources to Microsoft 365. So does that means like do we have to memorize all those endpoints? So the answer is no, because we have a Graph Explorer which can help us to get all those endpoints which we require. So let's have a look at what is or what are the offerings of Microsoft Graph Explorer. So it is a tool to make requests and see the responses against Microsoft Graph so that you don't have to remember those endpoints, but you can directly start using those REST APIs or unified REST APIs. So for example, you can read, write data to Office 365 entities, including SharePoint list, user and groups, OneDrive for business, and many more data. So only one URL to remember is aka.ms/ge, GE for Graph Explorer. So even this Graph Explorer has been revamped recently so that it offers us various rich features. So let's deep dive into the Microsoft Graph Explorer. So I already have this Microsoft Graph Explorer open. The URL is again aka.ms/ge. So once you open this particular URL, you can log into your tenant. I have already logged in to save the time. And then here we can see there are various REST endpoints available. Few are with getting started, then for batching Excel operations, getting the data from groups, then getting the data from insights, then from Microsoft Teams, which we will deep dive in a while. And then we have few other endpoints available for OneDrive for business, people, SharePoint, and many more things. So let's have a look at a basic one like get my profile. So for example, if I want to get my profile from Microsoft 365, so how can I get that? So I don't have to remember any endpoints for this. I can just click on this my profile and then the URL will be here. So the URL is simply graph.microsoft.com, which is the constant endpoint for us, the version of Graph API which we will be using, and then /me. So this /me will help me to get the entire information about my profile. So that information will include display name, title, email, mobile, and many more things which we have specified into our profile. So for example, one of the recent advantages what we have with Graph Explorer is that we have something called as code snippets. So for example, if I click this code snippets to access this particular REST endpoint, I will directly get a code in C#, in JavaScript, in Java, and in C. So in most of our demo, we will be using this C# so that even I don't have to write a code on myself. Like I don't need to think of like what code should I write. For example, if I want to get my profile, so the code snippet will be directly available to us from this code snippets tab. Again, one more good thing recently introduced is this adaptive cards. So for example, I want to represent this information of my profile into some good way using adaptive cards. Then I directly have the adaptive cards over here. So we have this response preview here, response headers here, which will kind of help us to set the headers whenever we are posting that particular response or a request. And then we have code snippets here and the adaptive cards here. So again, there are few more APIs. Maybe I can quickly touch base on Teams. For example, if I want to get all of the teams which I have joined as a user, I can click this get my joint teams, and from here it has already prepared that endpoint for me, like graph.microsoft.com/v1me/joint teams. So once I run query, it will return me all of the teams which I have joined. So in the response view, we'll be able to see all of the teams which I have joined. So at the moment in this particular tenant, I have joined only one team. So that information is available for us. Unfortunately, we don't have any adaptive card supported for this particular endpoint, but it will be here soon. And then, for example, if I want to use this particular functionality inside of my code, I can switch to this code snippets window. And from here, I can get this code and start using it against my teams, so that once I execute this particular piece of code, it will return me all of the teams which I have joined. So we are going to use this particular code in our demo, but I just wanted to let everyone introduce to this Microsoft Graph Explorer and the new enhancements in this Graph Explorer. Again, along with get, for example, if you want to have any other operations like post, put, patch, or delete, it can be performed from here. We have version 1.0, but there are few APIs which are available as a beta. So even it can be consumed from this particular endpoint beta. So yeah, that was about the Microsoft Graph Explorer. Let me switch back to the PPT. Okay, so we talked about Microsoft Graph. We got a glimpse of it, like what is mean by Microsoft Graph and how we can get those endpoints to start using the Graph APIs. Now let's talk about Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams is the hub for teamwork in Office 365. So it allows you to communicate using chat, messaging, calls, to collaborate using all the Office apps and services, including SharePoint files, Excel, OneNote, and Planner, and even Calendar. So Microsoft Teams has a rich customization experience, so you can write apps inside of Microsoft Teams. So these Microsoft Teams or Teams provide a powerful platform for building applications, including ability to build tabs, bots, connectors, actionable messages, cards, messaging extension, and of course support for a Microsoft Graph. So this particular Microsoft Graph API can be used with all of these other extensibility points. So you can have a tab that calls Microsoft Graph APIs, or even you can have a bot that calls Microsoft Graph APIs, or even we can have a connector that calls the Graph APIs, and even we can extend it with all of the other extensibility points. So you can also use those Graph API outside of Teams. So you can use this Graph API in your website to manipulate the Teams data, which will be our purpose of demo. And then even you can use this Graph API inside any of your services, or even a Graph APIs inside your command line tools. So this Graph API is very much a powerful tool whenever we talk about getting the data from Microsoft 365. So let's look at now that how we can then automate this Teams lifecycle using this powerful Graph APIs. Okay, so we will run through a very simple scenario to automate this team lifecycle using Graph. So let's say like how we can automate the team's lifecycle. So we can create a team and then add members and owners to that particular team. Then we can add channels to the team. We can configure the team settings, add channels to the team, install the applications to the team. Even we can set up tabs in the team and get the full functional team with all with a single script, and then our team can execute and send messages to each other, collaborate and be productive. And once the time comes that the team has run its life cycle, we can archive the team and save it for later use, or even we can delete that particular team. So we are going to build this entire particular scenario by using Graph APIs for Microsoft Teams. So let's take one example of airlines called as Contoso Airlines, which we will be using for our team provisioning. So this Contoso airline, which you probably have heard of, it is one of the largest airline in the world, and this airline runs non-stop flights daily to Pune. So there are this Contoso Airlines is really into the Microsoft Teams, and they like to create a new team for every flight they fly. So on a daily basis, they fly around 200 flights, so that there will be a lots of team per flight they fly. So the way they do is that they have a program that creates these teams every night at a midnight when no one is around. So it creates the teams for the next day, and then that team sticks around for a couple of days, and then the program will automatically archive those teams So those teams get out of the way while still being saved in the records in case we need to see them for a later purpose. So this is the scenario which we are going to build with Microsoft Graph API for Teams. So the simple scenario will be we will use this Graph API to provision the task. So firstly, that we will create a unified group, that means Office 365 group for flight team, because Office 365 group is the main core service behind Microsoft Teams. And then we can initialize the team for that particular group. And then we will create a channels in that particular team which we created. Then we will add few tabs to the Teams channel. Then we will install some apps to the team, and then we will create a SharePoint list for that particular team, and we will consume that SharePoint list inside our teams. And then we will archive the team when the flight is deleted or landed at its own destination. So once we have all of these tasks being provisioned, our flight will be ready to take off and reach to its destination. So let's see in a demo like how we can achieve this particular scenario. So let me switch back to my Visual Studio. I already have opened it. So this is the application which I created using, or at least I'm using from the Microsoft community, which is calling the Microsoft Graph API to provision the teams. So let it run. So we are going to run this program with application permission, because this is happening at midnight. But for a demo purpose, I have also added user delegated permissions, which we will explore a bit later. So let it load. Okay, I need to sign into account. Okay, it will automatically sign in here. So this particular application is being authenticated against my Azure AD so that I can start using this REST APIs against my team. So here we have application permissions, and here we have user delegated permissions, but we are going to use this application permission for our first demo for creating a teams, and then probably we can switch to user delegated permissions when it comes to installing the apps to the teams and some other operations. So let's start by creating a team. So for example, we want to fly one flight from Pune to maybe to US. So we will click create team. So what will happen is the first step for creating a team is to figure out who you want in that particular team. So for us, we will have a captain and the administrator as the owner of that particular team. So we will start with the UPNs, which is their email address, and then we need to translate that into a graph syntax. So here we already have a captain and an admin, which is being specified here. So let me run through. I have specifically have written some or engaged some breakpoints, so that once it hits that particular breakpoint, we will be able to see the flow of this entire application, and even we will be able to debug. So what happens is that we have this particular UPN with us, which is the captain of our flight. So whenever we get that particular UPN, the end REST API which it is going to hit is this particular end API, like graph.microsoft.com/v1.0 users and the name of the captain. So for example, if I switch back again to my Graph Explorer and try to run this particular API, I will click run query. In this particular request, we have posted a GET request to get the information of our captain. So here you can see in the response preview, we have got the information about our captain, the display name, given name, email address, and the UPN. So at least this is the information that we will be required so that we can hit our next REST end API to create a team and add this captain and admin to that particular team. So let me run through it. So here is the user information which we got, which I just shown you in the Graph Explorer, this one. So let us continue with the captain. Now that we have admin, which we want to add as a administrator inside our team. So let me again run through this. So this is the user information which we got, and then these two users will be added as owners inside our Microsoft Teams. So once we have a few owners, now let's add some members to the team so that they will help us as a crew members for our teams. So then we have a few of the other members which we can add to the team. We have one member called as Isai. So he will be the crew member for our team. So it will return this information about this particular user, the same call. And then the first thing whenever we are creating a teams is like we should have an underlying Office 365 group which will act as a backbone for our teams. So we are creating that particular request here. We are creating a group definition with a display name of flight and the flight number randomly picked up as 157. So that we'll have one Office 365 group created with a name of flight 157, and then we will have one mail nickname associated with it, and then a description. Visibility will be private, and then we will create it as a unified group inside our Office 365 tenant. Mail enabled will be yes, security enabled will be false, and additionally we are adding our owners and members inside that particular group. So what happens is that this is the endpoint that we have to get our group and create a group. So for example, if I can switch back here, paste this REST end API here, click run query. This will give us the information about all of the Office 365 groups we have in our tenant. So at the moment I have many groups that has been created. So this is the JSON format output that we get for each of the group that I have inside my Office 365 tenant. For example, if I want to create a new group, in that case, I will have to switch to this post command. And this inside this request body, I will have to mention all of these things so that it can go ahead, so that Graph API can go ahead and create the Office 365 group for me. So this is the information which we have provided as a request body for our REST endpoint. So let's hit it and let's see when it creates the group. So now that this one has created the group, maybe let's get back to our Office 365 Admin Center. I have the groups tab open here. Let me refresh and we will try to find out the name of our group, which should be flight 157. So, okay, let me try to search for it. Sometimes it takes some time. So let's say, okay, it is not yet here, but it should be here soon. But okay, maybe meanwhile we can move ahead and try for creating a teams, because sometimes it take some more time to get this particular group being displayed here. Okay, so now that we have this group 157 created here, once I click it, we'll be able to see that under members, we have these two owners added as the flight captain and the administrator of our group. And then we have few members added over here, which will be our crew members. So this is how the group has been created. Now that we will extend this particular group so that we can create a team on top of this particular Office 365 group. So the group ID we can get from there, and again we can post one query with graph.microsoft.com/group/ID of that particular group/team, because at the end we will always have the same ID for a group and a team. So let me go ahead and create that particular team. Before that, maybe I will open up my Microsoft Teams in a browser, because for this particular team I have been logged in with some other tenant. So let me refresh this. So you can see that at the moment I just have only one team called as prototype team. And once we hit this particular endpoint, we should be able to have one more team being added to our tenant called as flight 157. So let me continue with running this particular program. This is again one more REST end API which will hit the teams so that it will create one team inside our Office 365 tenant. So if I go back to my teams, and I can see that I have one team created here called as flight 157. So this is a flight which we are talking about to fly from Pune to USA. Okay, so we will extend this particular flight by adding some more tabs to it, some more channels to it, and adding some apps inside that particular team. So now that, as I said, we will always have the same ID of group as the team ID. So we can directly go ahead with that particular team ID, and then we can create a channel inside our team. So for example, now if you want to see that I have this particular team ID, so I can again go back to my Microsoft Graph Explorer. I will I will try to get the information first. And instead of this team ID, I will have the actual team ID here specified here. Okay. Okay. Now if I run this query, it should be able to get the team which we just have created, flight 157. And then we have only general channel available, which is the default channel which gets created with any of the team. So with this Graph API, it is returning us all of the channels which are available inside our team. So let me again go back to my code. So what we are trying to do now is that we are trying to create one new channel for a pilot so that he can make the announcements. Okay, so we are going ahead and creating one channel with the name called as pilots and with this particular description. So we'll continue to the next breakpoint, which will help us to create a new channel in the teams. Okay, so for example, now if I move back to my teams, we have one more channel created here and it should be pilots. Okay, so we have this new channel being created here for our pilot communication. So the next thing is that once the pilot runs this particular aeroplane, he needs to know the map, like from where to go to which kind of a destination. So that particular map we will try to add as a tab inside our pilots channel. Okay, so for that particular request, we can use this Graph API called as graph.microsoft.com teams, ID of that particular team channels, and then ID of that particular channel, which is the pilot channel, and /tabs. So this will give us all of the tabs which are available inside my pilot channel. And the next thing is that we are, instead of getting, we are making a post request so that we can add this particular content URL, which is representing one Bing map as a map of our airport. So I will go ahead and run this particular code. Okay, so it has run very quickly because it was just to add one tab. So we have this tab here, which is a map. So this gives a nice representation of how our airport is, where is our runway, and the other things. So this way we can use this particular Graph API to add the tabs inside our teams. Okay. So the next thing what we want to do now is even we can get the deep link to that particular channel. Okay. So we have the not directly the REST end API, but for example, if you programmatically want to get the deep link to your channel, you can do it like this way. You can get the teams, get the channel inside that team, and then you can request the information about that particular channel. And in the additional data, you can look out for this web URL, which will return you the deep link for that particular channel. So once you hit this particular URL, a very long URL with various group ID, GUIDs, and channel IDs and tenant IDs. So once you hit this particular URL, it will directly take you to that particular channel. So for example, if you hit this, this will directly take you to the pilots channel. So this way you can use the deep linking inside your code. So the next thing what we want to do is I just want to show that this REST end API or this Graph API are not limited only to Microsoft Teams, but we can also use this existing Graph API for SharePoint and Planner and other Microsoft workloads. So let's check out what we can do with SharePoint. Let's create a SharePoint list of some of the challenging passengers on this particular flight. So before I go there, let me open up the SharePoint admin center here, because whenever a team gets created in the background, it also creates one SharePoint team along with the group which we saw. So, okay, so here we have our flight 157. So let me open that particular SharePoint site. So this is the SharePoint site, which is again acting as a backbone for our Microsoft Teams. We'll go to the site content. So this is the plain or out of the box behavior of SharePoint. We don't have any custom list here, but what we are going to achieve with this particular graph APIs is we are going to create one list called as challenging passengers inside this particular SharePoint site, and then we will use that list inside our team. Okay, so again, for example, if you want to play around with SharePoint, there are few graph APIs available. Here are few graph APIs available. So for example, if you want to enumerate through all of the list available, or for example, if you want, if you can use this along with post so that you can create the list inside your SharePoint site. So we are going to use this particular SharePoint or the graph API to create a list inside our graph API. Okay, so now that we can use this graph.microsoft.com groups team ID site/root, which will help us to give the SharePoint site URL. And once we get that SharePoint site URL, we can use it to create a list on top of it. So let me run through this code, which will connect to our SharePoint site, and then it will create a SharePoint list inside that site. So with that code running, I think we should have a challenging passenger list created here using graph APIs. Okay, so we have challenging passengers graph, or sorry, list being created in the SharePoint list. Now that what we are trying to achieve is that we will use that particular list as a tab inside our Microsoft graph, sorry, Microsoft Teams. So we will add this list as a Microsoft Teams tab. For that particular purpose, we will use this end API called as Teams. ID of the team channels will get to that pilot channel, and then we will hit the tabs REST endpoint so that we will get the tabs, and then even we can use the same REST API with post so that we can create a tab inside that channel. Okay, so I'm creating a channel with challenging passenger name, and in the addition information, I'm specifying the SharePoint list that we want to present there. Okay, so let me run through this code, which should create a tab inside our Microsoft list. Okay, let me even run through this, no issues. So if I now go back to our SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, we have a challenging passengers tab here, which is representing our list from the SharePoint list. Okay, so we have one challenging passenger here, and okay, it's my name. So well, yeah, it's true. Snows loudly, so I do snore pretty loudly. So if I fell asleep on a plane, then I would kind of a challenging situation for everyone. So that was a quick demo of creating a new team using Graph APIs. So everything I have shown so far was done with the application permissions. So if I now again switch back to our application, now I will switch to user delegated permissions so that we can use these permissions to install the apps to our teams. So I will click install app to our teams, and we are using the user delegated permissions here. So it has hit this particular endpoint. So what we are doing here is that we are trying to install an app called as SurveyMonkey inside our teams. So I will run through this. We will try to get all of the teams. So for example, if I'm using the application permissions here, in that case, I will have to get all of the groups inside our tenant. And then from that group, I will have to just get the groups where the resource provisioning options contains teams. In this case, we are just using user delegated permissions so that it will hit this particular code. And from there, it will hit the Graph API to get the joint teams. So for example, if you are using application permissions, you can get all of the groups and just look out for the groups which are created specifically for the teams with this particular property, resource provisioning options, which contains teams. So now that I will run through this, and then we should be able to get only one team here, which is the group here, which we already know, flight 157, which we just created, because I don't have any other groups created in my tenant for teams. So we will go ahead. If that particular team is not archived, in that case, we are trying to add the SurveyMonkey app inside the team. So again, we are checking that if this particular app has been installed. So once we hit this REST endpoint, install app and install apps, we can again expand the Teams app definition to check whether we have any app installed inside our Microsoft Teams with the SurveyMonkey. So if no, in that case, we can go ahead and we can install that particular app inside our team. So let it run. Okay, so it has run the execution, and now that we should have one app inside our team. So for example, if I go to manage the team and have a look at the apps, we can see that we have the SurveyMonkey that has been installed to our app. Even I think there should be an announcement of this, but okay, there's no announcement, but at least we can see that the SurveyMonkey app has been installed here. So let me switch back to the next demo. So we have the next demo on create by cloning. So what that means is every time the flight flies, we will have to perform all these kind of an operations. Like we'll have to create Office 365 group, and then we'll have to create a team out of it. Then we'll have to add few members to it, few apps to it, few tabs to it. So this will be kind of an very much operations we will have to perform for each of the flight which we fly. So we want to kind of do it in some automated way. So what we have for that is we have created one prototype team. So where we have a few channels created already, and then we also have few of the apps which are already added, and tabs which are being already added. And every time we fly or we prepare for next flight, we will use this prototype team so that we will clone this particular team for our flight and we can start using it. So let's look at the code for this particular demo. I will switch back here. I will click create by cloning. So that what we are doing is we are trying to get the team ID of our prototype, which I have hard coded in this particular application, and then we will use the clone API so that we will clone that particular teams, which will clone entirely, including the tabs, channels, and all other things. So we are specifying here part that to be cloned. We are trying to clone apps, settings, and the channels for this particular team. So I will run through this, and then this will be kind of an asynchronous operation. So this will happen in an asynchronous way, but we can just check the status of this particular operations. So for example, if the demo doesn't go well, it will fail, and we won't be able to see that list. Okay, still it is in progress. I will click continue, and if the demo code is good on us, then we should be able to see the status as succeeded, and then we will be able to see that particular team being cloned from our okay, it is still in progress, so I don't think we are going to have a successful demo here, but okay, let's have the fingers crossed. Okay, so it is still taking some time. Meanwhile, let me check if the okay, so the team preparation is still going on. You can see that we have flight number 4157, which is being cloned from the prototype team, and it has started adding all of the channels inside it. Okay, so the good thing is that the status is succeeded now, and we have the team created from our prototype team, which has got all of the channels being cloned from the teams. Again, for example, if we go inside flight attendant and other things, we should be even able to see the apps which we added onto our prototype team being replicated to our flight team. So then what we can do is we didn't clone the members or administrators from the prototype. So we'll go ahead and we will add our custom crew to that particular team. So it is the same operation that we saw previously. We are just getting the UPN, trying to replicate that to a Graph API so that it can go ahead and add all of those members and users to that particular team. Okay, so it has run through, I guess, and once I can come back to my teams, we have entirely this team being cloned from the prototype team. And if I go to manage team, we have those members. I just have specified myself as the owner, not the other flight attendant. So we have these owners and members being added to this particular team. So this is how we can use the cloning. So for example, if you want to avoid the repetitive operations of creating a team, adding the tabs and all those things by a code, you can create a prototype team and then you can use that prototype team to create more teams by cloning them. So the last part of the demo is that now that the flight has landed to its destination and we want to archive all of the teams that has been created. So again, for this archive teams, I'm not going to archive my prototype team because this prototype team I'm going to use in the future to create a few more teams. So I will again come to this get all teams, and then if we are using the app permissions, we will get all of the groups and just try to look out for groups which are created for teams. Otherwise, we will just get all of the teams joined as an user. So now that we have teams here, we have two groups here. One is for flight 157 and flight 4157. So at least these are the two groups or two teams which we will be archiving now. Okay, so for that particular purpose, again, we have we are trying to get to that particular team by using this graph endpoint team/team ID. So I will go ahead, and for example, if it is not archived, we are trying to archive it using the another graph API called as team/id of the team/archive. So using this graph API, we will be able to archive our particular team. So let us run through that code, which will hit the REST end API for archiving. Okay, it has written success. I guess it will again run for the other team ID, which is for 4157. So we'll archive both the teams which we created just now. Okay, let it run through. Okay, yeah, success. So okay, so right now we have all of the teams which we created being archived. So now that even you can see that I can just see the prototype team which I didn't archive, but at the same time I can see the other two teams being hidden from here. So for example, if you want to have a look at the teams which are being archived, so the best way to go to it, we can click this manage teams, and then under archived, we'll be able to see those teams which we have archived. So from here, even you can restore that particular team, or you can go ahead and delete this team if you don't want to keep it for the next purpose. Okay, so with that, then I will switch back to my presentation. One more topic which I wanted to touch base upon the permissions. So before I go to permissions, let me show you how I have configured this application permissions for this particular application which I run. So for this, let me go back to the admin center here. And from here, we will click the Azure Active Directory because this has been added as an app registration inside our tenant Azure AD. So once I am to my or my Azure Active Directory, I will click this Azure Active Directory from the left navigation, and then we have the app registrations here. So this is where I have registered that particular app which we were running. Okay, so if I click this particular app and click the View API Permissions button from here, or even from this left navigation, we can see all of the permissions that I have configured for this particular demo. For example, if you want to go ahead and create a new permission, you can click add permission, select the Microsoft Graph, and then we have two types of permissions which we can create. One is a delegated permissions and another is a application permission. So let's talk about the delegated permissions and the application permissions. So these are two types of permissions. So this user delegated permissions, which is good when there is a user present. So if there is a user in front of the keyboard, you can use this user delegated permissions. And if there is no user around you, no user involvement, in that case, you can go ahead with the application permissions. So this user dedicated permission means the app is allowed to do the things the app is allowed to do, intersected with what the user is allowed to do. So if a user is running an app, the app might be in general be trusted to do a lot of things, but the user is not very trusted, then the user can't do those things in the application. So if you use the application permissions, what you are saying is give that application access to all groups, which is every group inside your entire tenant. So it is a little risky, and you should think twice before asking for the application permissions. So it is important to note that the admin consent is required for both the user delegated and application permissions. So whenever you are setting up this application permission, be very much careful. On the other hand, user delegated permission will be just intersection of what user can do and what application can do on its own. So with that, then I'm done with my part. Here are few of the resources that you can use to get more depth into the Microsoft Graph APIs. The resource is graph.microsoft.com. You can reach out to this website and then start learning more about Graph APIs. So the documentation for this Graphs APIs, which are available as GA, is available at https://ak.ms teamsgraph/v1. And the sample which I just shown you is from Nick Kramer from Microsoft, and it is available at this particular location. So even you can go ahead, download or clone this particular repository and start using or start exploring various REST and APIs which Microsoft delivered to us, and start playing around with this particular sample. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have any questions, I can have a look at the Q&A. Okay. Okay, there are two questions I can see. Can you use Microsoft Graph to enable or disable user access for a particular team? Yes. So what is mean by that is whether a particular group should have access to that particular Graph API or not. So in a nutshell, each of the team, okay, this is not specific to the team. Yeah, this is specific to the team. So what is mean by a team has got associated group, Microsoft group inside our tenant. So for example, if I switch back to my groups, okay, and let us switch to any of the Office 365 group which denotes team. So for example, this is the one. So for example, if this particular member is a owner or member inside that group or inside that teams, only in that case you will be able to make a call or make a interaction with that particular team. So there are some REST and APIs available by which you will be able to add and remove the users from the Office 365 group or a teams. So here, okay, it is not in the teams, but if you go to the group, so from here we have a group members. So we can use this particular Graph API to add or remove the members from a group, which will again have an impact on your Microsoft team. So you can use this Microsoft Graph for that particular purpose. Where can we get the slides of this session? Yeah, the slides will be given to you after this session. I guess it will be on our uh, Microsoft Virtual Marathon.com site. Okay, is there any other question? No, I don't think that there is any other question, but if there is any question, please feel free to add to the Q&A and I can answer it. Oh, not user access, but guest access. Yeah, even you can use this Graph API to remove the guest access from that particular team or from Office 365 group. So for example, let me check if we have specific for that particular team. Okay, at least it is not documented here, but if you go back to the link which I shared for, let me go back here. For this docs, you should be able to see all of the APIs which are available. So from there, you can remove the guest access for a user using the Graph API inside of Teams. Okay, I think, yeah, that was all. I don't think there are any other questions. So thank you very much and stay tuned for the next session. Thank you again.